Hello guys, welcome to Vedic Vidada. So we are back to the last video of this playlist of this total what we say understanding ascendants. After this I will start videos on individual houses, understanding the first house, second house, third house, okay, or I might start videos on particular planets, okay. But let's complete this playlist first. So the last video in this series is a Scorpio ascendant. We started from Sagittarius ascendant, that is Dhanu Lagna, and this is the last video of Scorpio ascendant, Vrishchik Lagna. Now let's talk about Scorpio Lagna. First of all, let's talk about the skin of Scorpio. FYI, there are like bulletproof jackets which can be made from the skin of Scorpio. So Scorpio ascendants, you must always take in consideration that your skin is very well protected. There is a lack of moisturization in your skin, but that is okay. More moisture may stop the inside outside osmosis of your energy. जो भी ऊर्जा है वो आपके स्किन से अंदर बाहर होती है. तो if you apply too much of moisturizer and too much of humidity might affect your skin a bit, because let's be frank, where do Scorpios live? Scorpios live in a dry environment, especially in deserts. Okay, so Scorpios are specifically what we say made for dry regions. So whenever you live in some dry regions, you are more healthy, and whenever you go around beach, okay, where it is more moist and humid climates, those places would be quite, I won't say too much, but a little bit of troublesome in case of your illnesses and health. So I would prefer that if you are a Scorpio ascendant, do not choose humid places to live in your life. Okay, like avoid beaches where the air is moist. Okay, you can go to the mountains where air is not moist. Okay, where the air is dry. You can go to deserts. You can go to forest region. Okay, but wherever you find moisture around, like beach, or let's say what we say that wetlands, okay, or wherever there is wet soil, okay, those places you should avoid, because the humidity might spoil your health in whichever tasir or tendency your body is there. Like if your body is in kaf tasir, it may produce it more. If your body is in let's say vayu tasir, it may proceed make it more, okay, produce it more. So whatever the kaf, pith or vayu is there, if you go into the humid atmosphere, you might suffer from this type of issues. So Scorpio ascendants, try to live more in humid less climate, okay, and you might always see that whenever there is monsoon season, you might have certain seasonal illnesses like cough, cold, something like that, fever, or whatever your body tendency is. And don't be surprised, it is just your body cleaning itself, and there should always be at least once a year you should have cough and cold. Okay. Next, your Lagna Lord is Mars. So first of all, heat is a very big factor in your body. When the Lagna Lord is rather say Moon or Venus, the governing factor of your body would be your pH scale. Okay, like if your pH is more acidic, if your pH is more basic, that would affect you more than the thermal balance of your body. But since it's Mars, okay, so what is affecting you more is your heat, how heated up your body is, how cool your body is, until and unless your Mars is placed in the 12th house or it is debilitated. Okay, if your Lagna Lord is placed in the 12th house or it is debilitated, your Tasir would be reversed. That is, it would be dependent on the pH. Otherwise, it would be easily dependent on the thermal factor of your body. Okay, and for Martians, it is good to keep your body hot. Okay, and if it is based on your pH, see how your Venus and Moon is placed. If your Venus and Moon is placed in the feminine sign, you must keep it to the basic side, and if it is placed in the masculine side, keep it on the acidic side. Okay, so and another factor is your look. By look, I mean to say not your personality, how you walk, how you are seen by a third person. That is going to affect the social image in a very big manner. Okay, and let's talk about the second house now, because first house, it's too much of detail over here. In the second house, it becomes number 9, that is Sagittarius. So Jupiter is the wealth giver, Dhanesh. Now Jupiter being wealth giver is very good, because whatever Lakshmi you are getting is getting good Lakshmi. Okay, whenever Jupiter is the Dhanesh, it is less likely that you indulge into some bad mode of income until and unless your Jupiter is either in retrograde or in the Maran Karakstan, or Mars is overpowering Jupiter. Okay, or Venus is overpowering Jupiter. In these 4 cases, you might have some bad mode of income. Otherwise, if your Jupiter is either okay placed, better placed, well placed, okay, then you would have a good core values in how your income is generated. Okay, so you will get good Lakshmi and not the Alakshmi. And for Lakshmi, you should always worship to, let's say, the Vamana avatar, or next thing you can do is wake up early, follow the rules of Brihaspati, and it might give you a good result in attaining Lakshmi. Career wise, if you are searching for some financial security, you might do jobs which are related to Jupiter, which may be banking sector, calculation, teaching is a very good sector for you, guiding people, counseling. Okay, these all things which are the sector of Jupiter might be very well suited for you until and unless those 4 circumstances are there, which is Jupiter Maran Karaksthana, Mars overpowering Jupiter, Jupiter in retrograde, and too many planets affecting Jupiter, or Venus is overpowering Jupiter. Except this, you can follow your Jupiter profession. Okay, if any of these is there in your chart, like if Venus is overpowering Jupiter, then you have to follow the Venusian art to get finances. Okay, if let's say Mars is overpowering Jupiter, then you can use the Martian arts. Okay, so check it out in your manner. Otherwise, this is what it can do. And for the basic remedy, I would suggest that see where your Jupiter is placed, and the lord of that house, if it is specified, it can give you a good income or a financial source from wherever it can bring. Okay, so now talking about the third house, your third house becomes number 10, Capricorn. So Capricorn is ruled by Shani Dev, Shani Maharaj. Over here, there might be some communication issues. Okay, the way you communicate might be a bit different. Okay, and now it again depends on where your Saturn is placed and which all planets are there in the third house. Okay, let's take a live example about me. Okay, so I am a Scorpio Ascendant, and I have Saturn placed in its own sign, that is Capricorn, in the third house. Okay, so what happens? See, when I speak in my mother tongue, okay, there is a less crowd that I may what you say, I may reach, because there might be the number of people may increase. Okay, but those people who would seriously listen me, okay, that would decrease. Okay, just a basic example, I am teaching astrology. Okay, so now when I teach astrology in India, you would find one astrologer in, say, at least one village. You would find at least one astrologer. Okay, and the credibility of that astrologer is nearly average would be around, let's say, 3 out of 10 or 4 out of 10. You would find rarely those astrologers who just not rely on Parashar, just doesn't rely on Gemini, but also research into different sectors. See Parashar, read Gemini, okay, read about different rishis, the Vedic concept, okay, understand the Vedic Vedas into a different manner, okay. So you would hardly find it around 1 or 2 in the entire state, but you will find a lot of astrologer in every village. The credibility is not well, okay. So what happens is, when I explain astrology into the basic language, people would rather choose me or say imagine me like a astrologer who is just giving advice on basis of some books, reading some minor papers, okay. And it is very hard in India to glorify yourself as an astrologer, because there is a crowd of astrologers over here, okay. And let's not talk about credibility of every astrologer, because there would be, okay, like, okay, you have Sade Sati. They would say, like, you have Sade Sati, you have this conjunction, you have this, oh, this is Rahu is there over here, Ketu is there over here, okay. So it becomes a business of giving fear to people. So see, in my case, the third house being Capricorn, third house ruled by communication, third house ruled by speech. If I make in my mother tongue, things would be difficult for me, but rather I use English, okay. So now what does this do? Whenever I use a foreign language, okay, the third house represents itself into and manifests itself into the form of 12th house, okay, because it is a foreign language. Getting my point? So what happens is, see, Saturn being the Lord of third house may give you skills of communication, but Saturn is also darkness. So wherever it is your home place, again Saturn is connected to Rahu, and Rahu is your places. Rahu is like where you are staying. Rahu is like your home place. Okay, whenever you want to change your Rahu, you go into a different continent, you go into foreign. Okay, so what? Rahu is connected with land, and Rahu is a friend of Saturn. Similarly, Ketu is a friend of Moon. Ketu is the friend of Mars. Okay, so Rahu and Saturn are kind of friends. So Saturn being in the third house is prohibiting me, giving me darkness in communication in my hometown, in my home language. Getting my point? Yet, Saturn is also the karak of skills, karma and hard work. So if I do some hard work in some foreign language, I change my Rahu. So the moment my Rahu is changed, Saturn starts giving me good result. So Saturn is giving me darkness only where my home place is in my home language. Rather, if I speak in English, which is not my home language, I might get fruitful result of how I am delivering my speech, of how I am explaining myself from foreign people, from people who are not living in my land. So I am benefited from the 12th house because of my speech that is foreign. Rather, if the same content I am making in my home language, that is Hindi or Gujarati, I am not benefited from it. I might get more socialized into my hometown, okay, but I might not get enough of responses because there are too much of too much going out in India. This is just one example of me, okay, because I am in astrology. Now let's say someone else is doing some another work, like someone else is let's forget the example of teacher. Someone else is an electrician. You are an electrician, you are a Scorpio Ascendant, and you are making some electronic items, or you are repairing some electronic items, and your Saturn is in third house, or your Saturn is somewhere place which is very good. But see, third house ruled by Saturn. Saturn is the karak of labor, Saturn is the karak of action, Saturn is the karak of hard work and skill, and it is also darkness. So if you repair Indian products and compare your income and your prosperity. While repairing foreign products, you will get more in foreign products rather than in Indian products. Okay, so what Scorpio Ascendant should really rely on, that you must select your skill, art, communication, or interest which is not based on your hometown. Okay, because there is some darkness in your communication. Now if you use your home language, there is definitely going to be some darkness around you in your workplace. Then try using some foreign language, change your Rahu, your Saturn will start giving you better result. Okay, it's kind of deep concept, but you will understand it while you do it. Okay, now let's talk about 4th house. 4th house is also Aquarius. Now Aquarius 4th house and is a tough situation, because when Saturn is placed in 4th house, it is definitely giving some kind of sorrow in your family. Okay, now again you have to see the placement of Saturn. If Saturn is placed in the 5th house, you are saved. If Saturn is placed in the 10th house, you are saved. Otherwise, definitely there is going to be some sorrow inside your family. Now, how to find out where you get this sorrow and how to solve the sorrow? Okay, so if Saturn is present in some feminine side, you are getting sorrow from a female member. If Saturn is placed in a positive sign, you are getting sorrow from a male member. Okay, now you have to find out, because you see, if it is present in Mercury sign, it might be possible from uncles you are getting the sorrow. If it is placed in Mars sign, it might be possible that it's your cousin, brothers or sisters, specifically brothers. Okay, if it is placed in Cancer, it is your mother. If it is placed in Leo, it is your father. Okay, so you have to check where your Sun is placed. Saturn is placed. Wherever your Saturn is placed, except in 5th house or 10th house, it is definitely giving you sorrow in your family from that region. Okay, and pacify the Lord of that zodiac, and you might have some relief in that region. Okay, now heading forward to the 5th house. 5th house is Pisces, number 12. So now Jupiter being the Lord of 5th house is usually good, until and unless Jupiter is in retrograde, Maran Karak or combust. Okay, so 5th house is also your social image, is also your mode of action, is also your children. Okay, and since it is ruled by Jupiter, you might have good children, you might have good core values, or the society may always see the good core values inside you. Okay, because it is also your social appearance. Now your social appearance is governed by Jupiter. Jupiter is a teacher, so you would always the society would always reflect you as a good core value person. Getting my point? Because Jupiter is there. If your Jupiter is in Maran Karakstan, that is 3rd house, or it is in the debilitated position, okay, only then you might have some issues. Otherwise, in front of society, you would have a very good and clean image, whatever you are from inside. Okay. Now, coming to the 6th house. Over here, the 6th house is number 1, that is Aries. So you have to take care of your root chakra, because your root chakra would be the first place where there would be illnesses and diseases. The root chakra comprises of your legs, your pelvis region, your butts, and your lower waist. Okay, so you have to take care of all the organs, your urinary system. Okay, so you have to take care of these organs, because these are more likely to get damaged in a higher age. Okay, take care of it. If your Mars is exalted, you would be free from illnesses. If your Mars is debilitated, then there might be some issues. Okay, so pacify Mars, you would be safe from illnesses. I would say you may donate some blood on every Friday. or check the Aruda Lagna. Whoever the Lord of Aruda Lagna is there, or if any planet is placed on that Lord on that specific weekday, okay, if you donate blood, it is also beneficial for you. And third, check your Tithi. Okay, whatever the Tithi Lord is, on the day of your Tithi Lord, if you donate blood, it is also very good for you. Okay. Now talking about 7th house. Now 7th house is very good because 7th house is number 2, which is Taurus. So Venus is being the Lord of 7th house. Now Venus being in the Lord of 7th house means the most comfortable side of love and affection is from your spouse. And Venus is the Lord of 7th house, means you are definitely getting love and affection from your spouse. If Venus is ill placed, if it is debilitated, then there might be problem in sustenance of marriage. In the balance of marriage, there might be some issues. But since your 7th house is definitely with the spouse, okay, has Venus as Lord, so you will always get love and affection from her. If your Venus is malefic, if it is placed ill, it is with some malefic planets, then the balance of the marriage would be troublesome. The sustenance of marriage would be troublesome because of the balance. It is not because your spouse is not loving you. Your spouse is always going to love you. But there might be some issues related to communication or physical issues or mental issues or family issues. Whatever issues are there, love is never going to be one issue. Okay. So that's the 7th house. You are lucky for getting number 7th house Lord as Venus. Strengthen your Venus and you will have beautiful partnerships. Okay. Now talking about number 8. Number 8 over here is number 3, which is Gemini. Now, Lord of Gemini is Mercury. So you must first of all take care of your electrolyte balance in your body. Your electrolyte balance is more comprising of sodium, potassium and chlorine. Okay. And third thing you have to see is your water balance. Because if your water balance is not good, the electrolyte balance is definitely not going to be good. Okay, so always take care of your sodium, potassium and chloride. If your Mercury is ill placed, there would be problems related to your sodium level. Okay. If your Sun is ill placed, the problems would definitely be related to chlorine. If your Saturn is ill placed, the problem would definitely be about your potassium. Okay, so always take care of these 3 planets or these 3 electrolytes. If your Moon is ill placed, there might be some water balance issues, dehydration, frequent urination or low urination. Okay, so take care of these things and always take care of vitamin B levels. Okay, at longer ages, do take capsules or tablets of vitamin B and it might help you very good. So take care of your all types of vitamin B like B1, B12, B6, B3, B4. Niacin is something you have to take care a lot, okay, which is I guess B6 or B3. So take care of niacin. Okay, and you must also take care of B12. Okay, B12 and B6. Let's otherwise mercury diseases might affect you, like your sense organs may have some problems, so you have to take care of your sense organs. And the challenges in your life would be controlling your senses, because 8th house is the house of transformation, so you have to transform your senses. So it is your challenge to transform your senses. Whatever you don't like, you have to do that in your life and you will have a longer life. Okay, for example, I have a tendency to wake up late. Okay, but whenever I want to recover myself from any illness, whenever I want to expand my body, whenever I want to become physically more strengthful, okay, I would do totally opposite. I would wake up in the Brahma Muhurta. Okay, and it might be any of the senses. Okay, let's say let's talk about mind. Okay, see, if you are feeling mentally stressed, okay, and your sleep cycle is not regulated, what you have to do? Regulate a sleep cycle. Every day sleep at a particular time, wake up at a particular time, and your mental health recovers. Jupiter is not good, your digestive system is not good. What to do? Eat at specific time. For example, if you are eating in the morning 8:30, then afternoon 1 and evening 8:30 again. So maintain these 3 timings. What you can do is occasionally you can have 13-hour fast, which is very good for you. It is going to increase your growth hormone. It is called autophagy, and you might increase it bit by bit, like do 12-hour fast, then do 13-hour fast next week, then again next week you can do 15-hour fast, then 16, 17. Okay, take it till I guess 18 hours, not more than 18 hours. Okay, because when your body is not getting food, okay, it is going to become more strengthful. It is shouting that, oh my god, there is no food. Okay, we have to strengthen ourselves. So this is how it is again going to strengthen itself. So do fasting, it is very good for that digestive balance. Okay, so whatever graha or whatever body system you are feeling tensed off, take care of that body sense organ. Urinary system, sacral, that is again your Saturn. Okay, so make specific durations of drinking water. Drink water every 2.5 hours. Every 2.5 hours, 1 glass of water. Then make it half glass. Then make it 3 hours. Okay, but use a specific routine for at least 1 moon cycle. That is 30 days. 15 plus 15. Shukla and Krishna Paks. Okay. So this is how you balance your body and accordingly your Ayurveda and everything. If moon is not good, sleep cycle I told you. For Jupiter I told you digestive balance. For sun is exercise. For sun is exercise. If your sun is not good, do exercise. Have a specific hour when you are exercising. At least 1 hour you have to exercise, and at the most 2.5 hours. Not more than 2.5 hours. Okay. Getting my point. So sun, moon, Saturn, Mars. Mars is not good, then you have to do semen retention. For Mars or let's say Venus. Mars and Venus both, you have to take care of your root chakra. So semen retention is you don't have to masturbate, you don't have to have sex, go into brahmacharya, retain your semen. Okay, for additional additional vitamins you can take zinc, selenium and L-arginine and L-carnitine. Take these 4 multivitamins. The Mars and Venus would be good. For Venus specifically is also your breathing. Okay, so you have to do Anulom Vilom at the sunrise and sunset both of the time. Okay, so these I give you remedies for all the planets. For Rahu and Ketu, contact Vedic Vidya. Things would be more simpler to you when we are directly connected. Okay, now moving to the 9th house. 9th house is again number 4. Number 4 is moon. The lord of Cancer is moon. So Dharmastan, 9th house is Dharmastan and Bhagyastan. So your Bhagya Vidata is Chandra. So check the position of your Chandra. Your Chandra is your Bhagya Vidata. So whenever you are feeling unfortunate in life, start doing Chandra mantra. Om Shram Shrim Shrom Sah Chandramase Namaha. Okay, start doing it. Things will be automatically fine. Worship Lord Shiva. Do all the services you want to do of your mother. The more your mother is feeling happy, the better your fortune and lifestyle would be. The more your mother is feeling frustrated, you would get more and more unfortunate in life. Okay, your mother is happy, you are happy. Your mother is unhappy, you are unhappy. Just one advice. Things are over. Nothing more. Okay. If in case your mother is not there, then on every tithi of your mother's birth and your mother's death, you have to do a fast. You have to give your food to poor people and you have to stay hungry the full day. Okay. Now coming to the 10th house. 10th house is going to be number 5. That is Leo. Leo is again sun. So sun is your father. So 10th house represent again your career, your hard work, your labor. Okay. And talking about the 10th house, sun being the Lord, you have to follow your son. That is, you have to follow your father. So whatever your father wants you to do in this life, you have to do it in this life and your career will prosper. Okay, if your father wants you to do business, you do business. If your father wants you to do job, you do job. Whatever your father wants you to do, if you do it, your career would obviously prosper. Next, to specify sun, if you want to increase your sun, if you want to increase your 10th house, then what you have to do, you have to wake up before sunrise. Okay, minimum 30 minutes before sunrise. So if sunrise is 6, okay, so before 30 minutes, 5:30, you have to be ready after bathing. Okay, you have to be ready. So you have to at least wake up 1 hour early, because you have to take bath. Okay, at 5:30 you must be ready. You wake up half an hour, you wake up and get ready half an hour before the sunrise. Your sun is going to be very good. Okay, now talking about career, I gave you that advice. And make sure your sun is not debilitated. If your sun is debilitated, you have to do mantras of sun 7,000 times. If it is conjoined with some planets, you multiply it 7,000 into it. Okay, so sun mantra is Om Ram Rim Rom Sah Suryai Namaha. Okay, you have to do it 7,000 times. And if a malefic planet is conjoined with it, like if it is connected with Mars, so you do the mantra 7,000 times for Sun and 7,000 times for Mars. When you do it for Sun, whenever Sun comes in Leo, then you have to do 7,000 mantras of Sun. And again, when Sun comes in the zodiac of Mars, you again have to do 7,000 mantras of Sun. And this is one time offer in your life. You don't have to keep on doing every year, just one time. Okay. If your sun is conjoined with Saturn, then you have to wait till sun comes in the Saturn zodiac. Whenever sun comes in the Saturn zodiac, do 7,000 mantras of Surya mantra. Okay. Moving to the 11th house. 11th house is number 6. Number 6 is Virgo, and Virgo is the shortcut Rashi. So your love is always going to come from shortcuts. You are searching for shortcuts in your life. Okay, you don't like to do long things, long procedures, long hard work in your life. All you like to do is shortcuts, because from shortcuts you are getting short gains. So you are more likely to have 10 small gains rather than one big gain, which is costing you a very big time and effort. Okay, so you are like, you will do 2 jobs of say 10,000 rupees to earn 20,000 rupees, rather than doing one job of 20,000 rupees, which is costing you at least double of its time. Okay, you like to have multiple small incomes rather than you want to have one big income. And I would prefer that if your 11th house is not debilitated, if your 11th house Lord is not debilitated, if your 11th house is not malefic, then always choose multiple small incomes rather than a big one income. If it is debilitated, if you have a bad planet in there, if there are malefics, then do the reverse. Okay. Now, again, one more thing. Mercury is also business. So if it is not debilitated, do business. If it is debilitated, do job. Now 12th house. 12th house is number 7. Number 7 is Venus, Libra. So Venusian sign in the 12th house. The first word you should always think about Venus in 12th house is luxury. The second word you hear when Venus is 12th house is polygamous sex life. Okay, Venus being in the 12th house is definitely going to give you a lot of sexual partners. Okay, but if your Venus is placed ill, then you are not getting any sex partners. If your Venus is placed good, then you are getting good sex partners, a number of sex partners. Okay, plus Venus is also luxury. Venus is the Devi of Venus is Lakshmi. So if Venus is placed good in your chart, okay, you are getting Lakshmi in life. Okay, you don't have to strive for Lakshmi. Okay, you have Lakshmi. Okay, if your Venus is good and you are a Scorpio ascendant. If you are a Scorpio ascendant, Venus is not good, then you have to strive for Lakshmi. But if your Venus is good, you don't have to strive for Lakshmi. At least survival crunch. You won't have survival crunch in your life. Okay. And 12th house being Venus is again your spouse and partnerships. So you might feel moksha or fulfillment or contentment with your spouse. Okay, so you have a tendency to spend time with your spouse because that is something which is giving you moksha. Your definition of moksha is spending good ample time with your spouse. You are with your spouse, you are in the state of moksha. Getting my point? So you must teach this thing to your spouse that okay, you are his or her happy place, please don't worsen it. Okay, the moment your spouse is not your moksha, your marriage dies. The moment your spouse is not your moksha, the marriage dies. Why? Because the karak of marriage, Venus, is placed, the karak of Venus, marriage Venus, its sign Libra is in the 12th house and 7th house. 7th house, it is totally fine. 12th house is the sign of liberation, is the sign of moksha. So if your spouse becomes a bit of troublesome for your mental health, for your physical health, for your energy vibes, that is your Atma, any of these three things, your marriage dies. So you have to choose your partner in such a way. The partner should be good at compromising things, because the more compromising partner is, your mental health survives. Your partner should be understanding, because that is going to give you physical health. And your partner should be watching the world even with your perspective and her perspective. That is what is going to give you a good match of vibes. Okay, so take these three things into consideration. Okay, so this was Scorpio Ascendants, and with this we end this playlist, we end the videos of Scorpio Ascendants, and we will meet soon. I will be starting the new playlist, and maybe I would make some short videos or start a masterclass again, but let's see. Till then, Jai Bhadrakali.